Today we are with Mr. Mahendra Bhapna, former Tata Enterprise CEO. He has headed two enterprises with Tata, and right now he has launched an initiative known as University 21. University 21 aims at the developing nations and helps in improving the strategic performances, helps in cost reduction, etc. in developing countries, especially focusing on the educational institutes and the students. Yes, sir. Sir, looking at India as a country, a lot of people have said that India will be a superpower by 2030. How important a role does education play in this?
Let me tell you at the outset that India cannot become a superpower until it starts the 21st century education, which is something different than what we have been doing so far. An example, it is the higher education system should start working on innovation, on understanding the global markets, understanding going through difficult situations, untraveled path. Unless an experiential learning, unless we go through this, is not possible. That is one. The issue which I would like to raise is that it's a science and technology which drives the nation's growth and also transformation of the societies. Particularly, like in India, last couple of decades, a lot of brain drain has happened, where all our good brains, brilliant people have been going abroad, and the economies of Europe and US has been improving. And this has put the reverse order for India. The Indian economy has not been growing as fast as it should be. We could grow at easily at 8 to 9%, but what stops us is not the infrastructure or the investments, but largely on higher education and technical education.
Right. Talking about University 21, which is the premier global consulting firm, how exactly is it going to help Indian education and the Indian students?
University 21 is an idea born out of compulsions that some of like-minded people met together. Having worked for Tata Group for all my life and went through difficult situations, including establishing two organizations and transforming them thoroughly. The idea was to make an impact on the national economy in some way. And we found that tertiary education, particularly higher education sector in the engineering, in MBA, and in vocational guidance, in three areas, if we make an impact, that can transform the economy of the country. US 21, where we have experienced people from industry, from the largest private university in US, from the largest state university in US, and a person who has been part of a transformation agenda at Arizona University. All of us partner to see that if we can currently what the system is facing or the universities or colleges are facing is that enrollment issues, employment issues. You must read in newspapers that around 20-25% of the students coming out of colleges are employable. In fact, in some cases, it's even lower than even 14% or so. It's because of quality of education. At the same time, all the institutes, private institutes, they have an agenda that how do they make profit? Because today, 25% under Section 25, none of the institutes can generate profits. So this is the paradox. What we have is one side we have a huge market available. The other side we do not have quality education, and our enrollment ratio, which is today, is around 17%. If we need to grow to something like 30%, then the number of universities and colleges have to grow from something like 700 universities to another 800 plus, and around 36,000 colleges to another 40,000 colleges to be added, which is not possible.
Right. So, like we've had a lot of talks in the international forum that India will soon be opening its doors for the international education systems.
Yes.
Do you think it's important for the Indian education systems to go through a steady transformation to survive in the market?
There has been, the discussions have taken place between the MHRD and the Finance Ministry and the Industry Ministry, and the papers have been pushed sometime in the month of September to see that those foreign universities and colleges who are ranked in the first 400 in the world, and those who can invest in the endowment around 25 crores, $25 billion plus. They can be foreign education institutes in India, they can have their campus in India, but however, that has to happen in section 25 again. There is non-profit organizations.
So in the One Globe 2014, I have read that you said that your vision is to transform MBA education to
Yes.
MBA entrepreneurial education. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, we have around 30 odd allied institutes in MBA, like IIMs and XLRI. We have another around 80 institutes which are less allied but good institutes like IRMA and MIT, etc. And we have another 800 MBA institutes. Except in the top 100 or so, rest of them produce nothing but either clerks or managers. The top institute to create a pull, which means that it's a horse and a cart issue first. Unless you create the employment, there is no need of just training people. And on the other side, we talk of 500 million people to be trained. My agenda is to transform by educating them on entrepreneurship, on innovation, on creativity, on diversity, to manage difficult situations, adaptive leadership. These are the areas which we need to inculcate with students in MBA. So there are two areas, another three areas which I'd like to mention. One is the technology and science area, where the students think more technically and through innovation, passion and inspiration, they try to stay in India and work for either large organizations as research heads or themselves start a new organization. The second is entrepreneurship education, which creates the jobs. And the third is how do we scale the vocational education, which has to be again a blended system education by ICT and the methods where you can have some classrooms, you can some on the video, some on the studios, and practical training at the industries.
So finally, what exactly inspired you to launch such an initiative in India?
I am born in a less modest family, and at the age of 16, this dilemma whether I would be able to go for higher education or not. My parents probably could not afford my education, but fortunately that some of my relations and friends convinced my father to get me into engineering. At the end of engineering, I found that some of my colleagues who were in class, they even today sell newspapers, and some of them were primary school teachers, and some of them have gone to villages back as agriculture farmers. I could see that what education really changed the situation. I grew from that level. I was very fortunate to get step by step some opportunities. Thankful to Tata Group that who allowed me to work in the group for that long and even handle the crisis situation, which even helped me to improve my skills on leadership, on difficult situations. And then that started to say, if I could do it, why can't everybody do the same thing? That is where entrepreneurship education and inspiration that the whole country can possibly change.
Right. So the Indus Age family wishes you all the best with the University 21 initiative. Thank you so much for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you so much. Thank you.